Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the show today. So, today, as with every day, I am just going to record what I see on my Twitter feed as I go through in the morning, and I'll just react to it and make some comments along the way. So I don't think I'll waste any more time, and we'll just get straight into it. Actually, today I'm starting a bit earlier because I know you guys in Australia are a little bit ahead of us, ahead of where I am at the moment. So if I can get this video out at a reasonable time before your bedtime or before you all start getting drunk, it's probably a bit better for you. Anyways, let's jump into it. Let's see what we've got. Straight off the bat, we have Chris. Chris going into... Okay, so there's a death in custody. Okay. Very cool, Chris. But yeah, on to the next one, Steve. New South Wales, Labor and Honesty. Yeah, okay, well, what are they actually saying here? Let's have a look.
Of experience, though, one of your shadow ministers has actually been a minister.
That's true, but we don't have experience racking up the biggest debt the state has ever seen. We don't have experience running down the health system. We don't have experience presiding over an education system.
They don't have any experience at all. One thing with New South Wales Labor is I see in there a lot of their claims is it's 12 years of Liberal government. 12 years. It's been 12 years of a Liberal government. Why? Why was it 12 years? What happened, Chris? What was so bad that you got 12 years of a Liberal government? What was it? Can you tell me? I don't know. Maybe you've got experience in this field. Why did you have 12 years experience on the opposition benches? What happened, Chris?
System that is
That's all Dom has.
That's
all Dom has to say. He doesn't have to get involved in this stupid 16-year-old TikTok bullshit. He just has to say what happened, Chris? What was going on with New South Wales Labor? Is there a reason for this?
So classes right across New South Wales.
Murdoch.
But I do think we bring an energy and a commitment and focus on the things that matter to the people of New South Wales.
Cherry burst fucking Gibson Les Paul. That's the energy he's bringing.
And that disciplined approach will count for the state if we're in office. Many people on the government's team, not the Premier, who I've got...
Congratulations, though. Like, finally, Labor are able to get... a leader or a candidate running for, leadership of a state who doesn't have a speech impediment. There were a lot of Labor people, for some reason, have a speech impediment. Like Albo's got that funny little list. Gillard had that weird thing. Even Shorten had that, that weird thing. Tony Burke, Jesus Christ. They all have like this. Yvette Darth from Queensland. It's all like... There's something going on there. How does that happen? I'm not too sure. Anyways, Chris Minns is all right. He looks like a nice guy. I don't know what that thing is about his height. He looks normal to me. Like, whoa, yeah, his height, like, does it... He's not short like Albo, is he? Albo's like a really small man. Chris Bowen's a little man. There's Adam Bant. You got these creepy little men in Parliament, but Chris Minns doesn't seem like one. He seems like a nice dude. He seems all right. 12 years in opposition, though, and he still can't figure out why.
A lot of regard for, can't stand to be in the same room with each other. And this election campaign has been beset by infighting virtually every single week. How are they going to run a competent government if they can't stand the side of each other?
Competent government. Yeah. That's what Australians all expect, but we never get. Okay, anyways, that's good. Thanks, Steve. Steve Noble, great guy. He's always out there fighting the good fight. Okay, let's have a look. Michael next. Wow, what a great lineup. We got Chris kicking off, then Steve, and then Michael. Wow, this is... See, guys, seriously, the For You tab in the morning is... it's fantastic. I love it. Just feeds it up. Just loads it up. Okay, so what's Michael on about? Okay, so some people are getting a little bit excited because Albo sang the national anthem. Wow, Jesus. Okay, just see it. Let's. Oh my God, what the fuck is going on here? Hear him. Yeah, always, without fail. Pronouns in bio. Every time. Jesus Christ. Okay, let's keep going. I don't want to dwell on that too long, but yeah, thanks, Daniel. Yeah, that's exciting. Jonathan Livingston Seagal. Lee seems nice. Oh, good. No, that's not really news or anything there. What are we on to? Alex Turnbull, Steve. Please, Steve. First thing in the morning. Yeah. Try not to mention that name. Poor Alex Turnbull. What is it? He's like guarding a warehouse in Singapore filled with his dad's books. Probably Kevin's books too. Oh, geez, they had to boost the numbers somehow. Okay. Leonardo DiCaprio. Yeah, I like Leo. You know, I can't think of a bad Leonardo DiCaprio film. You know, I've seen lots of them. And that's pretty hard for a lot of actors, especially someone with his longevity in the scene. Like, he's had so many movies, even from a young kid till now. I wouldn't advocate for becoming an actor like Leo, like a child actor. It obviously fucked with his head. Now he's stuck with 23-year-old girls for life, but is that really such a bad thing? I don't think so. Anyways, on to Alice Springs. Yeah, well, that didn't really... this problem hasn't really been fixed at all, but it's good to see the ABC at least trying to report. So what do they say? Crime has dropped in Alice Springs, but experts warn it does not mean alcohol bans are effective. Ridiculous, hey? Ridiculous. So who is here? Let's have a quick look. I'm just going to go and have a quick browse. I don't know if this shows up on the screen correctly, but I'm going to go through it. So crime has dropped in Alice Springs, but experts warn it does not mean alcohol bans are effective. Who is the expert? Let's see who these experts are. I love that word now, hey? Experts. It's usually... It's the biggest red flag you could get, especially coming from the ABC, because you know their experts is carefully selected to push a straight narrative. But let's have a look. New internal figures from Northern Territory Police show a significant drop in crime in Alice Springs since the reintroduction of alcohol restrictions. Okay, there we go. They reintroduced alcohol restrictions, and the figures from the Northern Territory Police show a significant drop in crime. That's pretty conclusive, but not for the ABC. They've got to find a way to get the alcohol back in there. We got to get the alcohol back into Alice Springs because that's the right thing to do. In January, a suite of immediate measures restricting alcohol sales was launched, including trialling takeaway alcohol-free days on Monday and Tuesday, and limiting trading hours to 3 to 7 p.m. on other days, excluding Saturdays. Okay, where is this expert? Experts. See, look, they're here again. So they have the figures from the police, which that should be your experts. They're your experts on the ground. They're the ones collecting the data. They're the ones policing on the ground. These other experts, what's the bet? This is some activist group. Okay, a briefing is signed off by the Deputy Commissioner. Speaking, okay, there is doubt. Experts question the clumsily collected data. Okay, let's see. The experts are Dr. Che Brown. Yeah, she's probably, I don't know, what percentage, guys? What percentage of Aboriginality do you think this woman is? Can't really take a guess, but let's have a look. Let's see, where is she? Experts. Okay, so there's more. There's more than just one expert now. Okay. Concerned the data misrepresents the effectiveness. Okay. They are concerned that the data misrepresents the effectiveness of alcohol bans. So they're saying alcohol bans don't work, or they misrepresent it seems to be working and they don't seem to be happy. Domestic violence researcher. Okay, well, that's in Alice Springs. Dr. Che Brown has cautioned against reading too much into the figures. Of course, you know, it's working, but it's not working, you know, it's fuck off. Jesus Christ. Okay, where is this lady from? It doesn't actually say. So she's an expert, but it doesn't explain. She just says she's a domestic violence researcher and Alice Springs resident. Or is that an expert? Because she lives. I don't understand. Domestic violence, yeah, sure, that's her field. She might be an expert. Oh, she's a researcher. I don't think that's an expert, but that's domestic violence. That's not crime. Domestic violence is a crime, obviously, but you know, I don't think there is domestic violence issues in Alice Springs for sure. But I think a lot of the crime is coming from children wandering the streets at night and breaking into places and attacking people. I don't think the domestic violence research is going to be picking up on But anyways, I'm sure she's, trying to divert money to her cause. But let's have a look. Dr. Brown. Okay, yeah. No. The alcohol restrictions have been in place for less than a month. Could magically solve the problems. The idea that the alcohol restrictions less than a month. Yeah, of course. No, that's not absurd. That's not absurd at all. Take the alcohol away. It's fair. The data shows it. Jesus Christ. You could. This is a banana. And they're holding up a fucking pineapple. Yeah, okay. I don't get this. This is the ABC. What is that? Every time, with every story, you could give me a topic, and I can tell you the way the ABC will cover it. That's how ridiculous they are. And see, the police recommend further restrictions. Yeah, of course. Because the police can see what works. They're actually on the ground. The domestic violence researcher, is she walking around the streets at night arresting these kids or trying to intervene here? I don't think so. I think she's sitting back, like, doing interviews with the ABC. But just wait, let's have a look. Dr. Che Brown. Let's see what I can find on her. Dr. Che Brown. Oh, she's on Twitter, everyone. Don't go and annoy her. But, oh my God. She's a PhD candidate from Alice Springs in the Northern Territory. She's at ANU and Centre for Aboriginal Economic Policy. Okay. Does that make her an expert? I don't think so. I wouldn't class that as an expert opinion whatsoever, especially when it comes to crime. No, not an academic, not someone sitting in Canberra, even though she's from Alice Springs. I don't think so, no. But the ABC does. The ABC loves credentialism over merit every time. I would take the merit of the police officers on the ground and what they're reporting over the credentialed academic. I don't, especially in something like Aboriginal studies. That's just neo-Marxism, like, dressed up. That's all it is. It's the same thing happening in America with critical race theory. Like, it's the exact same thing. It's just implanted into an Australian context. Anyways, thanks ABC for another fucking waste of a day. Jesus Christ. Okay, Steve Noble's back. Rentals and prospective first home buyers. Happy Albo has ramped up immigration to 400k. Where are they all going to go? That's a good question. We've never actually sat down, and no one's actually debated this before, but why are we taking in, 400,000 new migrants? And this is a bipartisan thing, like Liberal or Labor, like, they're all up with it. I understand, like, they like to do this to keep Australia out of a recession, fudge the numbers a bit. We're running a bit of a Ponzi scheme at the moment, and no one wants to admit it, but the voters and the taxpayers have never had actually a say on this. It just seems to happen. This is just one of those things that just seems to happen. But as Steve says, where are these people going to go? 400,000 people. We got roughly about 2.3 people per household in Australia. So we're going to need about another 200,000 premises for these people, either apartments or houses. Who's building these 200,000 houses? Albo's got a fund, and what do they want? They want 30,000 houses over 5 years or something? That's not going to fill the gap. But yeah, that's a good question, Steve. Like, really, where are these people going to go? What are they going? We don't have the infrastructure projects that are being rolled out at the moment. All the money is focused on rewiring the nation. We're not building dams. We're not building houses. We can't even maintain what we've got, and they want to just keep bringing 400,000 people a year. That's what? Is that a Canberra? I don't know. Is Canberra about 400,000? I think so. That's a lot of people. That's Tasmania in 1 year. It's probably more than Tasmania, actually. Okay, anyways. Thanks, Steve. Great work. King Charles. Oh, my God, this is boring. This is boring topic. But, Meghan Markle, yesterday was International Women's Day. I did make some jokes about the way that these women in power parade about as they're oppressed, especially the Teals and these other women who run all these women organizations where they get funding, and they're apparently experts as well. Meghan Markle's the exact embodiment of all of that. You know, an overprivileged rich woman marries a royal and then claims oppression. That's basically what feminism is in 2023. Anyways, I'm glad that day's over. Wow, I saw some shit coming through. One thing, okay, I'll just finish this on International Women's Day. Obviously, they like to parade about with the pay gap. You know, the pay gap. They're always on a wage gap or whatever the fuck they're on about. It's a dodgy set of statistics that they use to create a discrepancy between results, a discrepancy in outcomes, and then they automatically attribute that to discrimination, which isn't. You know, it's not right. It's cheap. It's dodgy. It's the thing an expert would do. So they do that. However, if you do believe this is. The whole situation behind the wage gap. It is well known there is a direct correlation between your use of maths and understanding of maths and statistics directly correlates to your earning potential. So the more maths you use, the higher your earnings will be. And it's just so ironic that if the people who believe in the wage gap understood maths more, they would make more money. But they don't understand maths, so they believe the wage gap. You know, they're stuck in a little circle there. Anyways, there's, oh my God, that wage gap. I just can't understand how that keeps going. How does this persist for so long? Anyways, it totes should be bulldozed. Thanks, Charles Haig. How about you, Charles? It's good to see you again. I love seeing you guys first thing in the morning. What we've had, Chris, Michael, Steve, Charles, we're all coming in. All you great guys. So it totes should be bulldozed. Yeah, that does look like an old hotel. Why do we hold on to these old? This isn't really. We heritage list too much stuff, you know, and especially as Steve was saying, where are we going to house these people? We need to adjust planning laws and stop heritage listing bus stops and, you know, a wheelie bin. Oh, this one's been sitting on the road for 30 years now. No one's picked it up. Yeah, heritage listed. Yeah, can we stop doing that? And these old pubs. Looks like a nice old corner pub. It looks like one of the ones in Queensland, actually. Yeah, the Brunswick Hotel. Brunswick Hotel in, yeah, that's twice now I've mentioned Brunswick in this week. Brunswick Street. Anyways, Andrew Bolt. Let's go on. Harold's son. You know, I don't really have this, I don't have Murdoch derangement or anything like that. I just find the Herald a little bit, I don't know. Anyways, it's, maybe I've got a bias towards the Courier Mail. I like the Courier Mail in Queensland. It sticks to local issues and it gets right down in there. And I like that. I like that aspect. But the Herald, yeah, maybe I just don't, I'm not from Victoria, so I don't get it. Maybe. Andrew Bolt. The judge who took a stick to the Sally Rugg vs. Monique Ryan mud fight deserves a giant thank you for giving the woke generation a huge smack. That's true. It also, if you're an employer out there, do not hire these woke people. Do not hire them. This is a perfect example of what happens. They're even politically like identical, almost to a point. But this is a bad thing. This is toxic. You don't bring these people into your organization. This is exactly what happens. And Monique Ryan, she seems like a nice lady, you know, at heart. She seems like she wants to do the right thing and employ people fairly and blah, blah, blah. But going into an election campaign, you need your chief of staff there all the time. You know, they have to work. That's part of the job. You don't drag these people in. They're toxic and it's going to blow up in your face. And that's the lesson everyone should take from this. You know, don't drag these toxic woke people into your organization unless you're prepared to pay the price. It's really that simple. They don't offer anything that you can't get from anyone else. They don't offer anything special. They are a liability, top to bottom. Anyways, let's move on. Thanks, Harold Son. Carl Thomas. Okay, so they're still going on here. David Pocock's back in the game. See, the For You tab. So I mentioned David Pocock yesterday, and that's fine. But yeah, it's always trying to ban something, and wish he would get some solid political foundations about him, like some guiding light that's not the Q&A audience. That's all. You know, just some sticking ideology that he could, you know, apply evenly across the field. Because at the moment, it's just like a Twitter poll, basically. He's running Twitter polls and seeing what sticks. It doesn't really work. Yeah. Okay, cool. Next one. Tarquin Vas Deference. This is a great parody account. You know, it's not as good as Greg, but it's up there. It's up there. Okay, I'm going to go through Charles Haig back again. Why do the forks always go missing from the office kitchens? Yeah, that's true. I think people just take them home. Really? Lady Liberty. I've only recently found Lady Liberty on Twitter, and I followed her, and she seems pretty cool. You know, I'm not sure completely what's going on there. Shout out to Lady Liberty. It's good to see you. I like this meme. This is a good one. Yeah, that's cool. It's Elbows Golden Shower, I would say. That's a good one. Let's keep going. Steve's back here. Wow, Steve's popped up a couple times today. See this For You tab? They're really getting into it. Okay, so they want Salvos want an injecting room in the CBD. As a city, if we harden our hearts, it will come back to haunt us in years to come. Heroin users aren't just an annoyance to step over on the way. Yeah, but this is I agree with this, but just keep it away from schools. Keep it away from the public, keep it away from schools. And you also have to accept that once you start allowing heroin addiction and that to persist, there's only one road for a heroin addict, and that's into the grave. An early grave at that. So you're allowing that to happen. You're allowing these people to kill themselves. It's just, you want to do it, you know, behind a door in a public place. You want to continue that. I don't think that's the solution. It's a tough problem, but I don't think these weak-willed solutions are the answer. I really don't. It's not good. You know, we should care about people a lot more. And we know that heroin addiction just leads to one place. It's one place. There's only one place that train's gonna stop. Yeah, I don't think we should be doing that for people. Mental health services are essential. We got to get people the mental health services that they need, not cut them back. You know, this is an easy solution, simple solution for simple minds. That's all. And weak people want simple answers. Okay, this lady, I think she's from Victoria as well. I don't really care. She just looks like, I don't know. I don't really care. Georgie Purcell. She opens up about the attack she's been subject to. I swear, like, that's in the operating manual for most politicians these days. We need to raise your profile. Let's you know, we'll set up some sock puppet accounts and we'll attack you over it, and then you can go out and play the victim and then push your little message. And anyways, I don't care. Next, Ian Chant. Like Ian, cool guy. What's he saying? Women, treat us seriously. Do not sexually objectify us. Women in Perth, let's take our clothes off to make a point. I love that. Out of all the feminists, you know, out of all the feminist protests, this is why I love the Russians especially, and Germans, you know, some of the European feminists. That's the best thing about their protests. They just get their tops off. Get the gear off, ladies. You know, make a point. Get out there. Get out there from man to you. Get out there, get your tops off. If you want to make a point, just do it. You know, you've got my support 100%. No matter what you're protesting, get it off. You got my support. Anyways, we need more of that, not less. Okay, Pauline. What's Pauline? You know, nothing shows how bad our political system is at the moment, especially on the conservative side of politics, or the right, the liberal side of politics. Is that Pauline Hanson actually makes more sense. She actually holds her positions a lot better than the Liberal Party does itself. And I understand the Liberal Party is a broad church, blah, blah, blah. But the broad church doesn't extend into Labour policy. Pauline holds it. I like that. So she's always got a decent... This is why she gets consistent votes. If you look at her results over the last 3 election cycles, she actually holds her own. And it's pretty good considering she's basically banned off any ABC program. They'll never have anyone from One Nation on any of their programs for some weird reason. But she does hold it, you know, at least she holds her points and she delivers things that matter to, you know, the battlers. They're not the people in the inner city, you know, the snobs look down their nose at these lowly people from, you know, Kelso or Logan. You know, that she actually does speak to them, and they should really look at that because she's holding her numbers, and it works. It works for her. You know, anyways, let's just continue on. Steve back again. Wow. Herald Sun, Royals. Oh man, I'm just over it. Just an armistice. There's no more Harry and Meghan, please. Everyone just stop clicking on the shit and they'll stop making it. Seriously, just do it. Just stop it. Okay. Okay, changing climate change, debunking. Changing climate change, debunking the global colossus. Despite the scientific case for a climate apocalypse comprehensively collapsing 20 years ago through lack of scientific. Okay, I'm a spectator changing the debunking. Yeah, there is no. I have read up on a lot of the scientific literature. Okay, so there is a difference here, and generally the left are not too smart. They're a little bit slow, so they can't differentiate between terms. So, yes, climate change is real, and there is obviously the climate will change over time. A climate crisis or a climate emergency is completely fictitious. There is no science supporting that whatsoever. That is a political campaign. Those are political words. That is not real. There is no such thing as a climate crisis. No matter how much you repeat it, blah, blah, blah. Oh, the scientists say, or experts. They'll bring up experts. Experts say we can't open any more oil or gas, blah, blah, blah. Who are the experts, you know? There's no science backing that. That is not science. But they've conflated that. This is like equity and equality. They conflate the two together because simple minds have simple concepts. And they can't differentiate. It's just sad. So just call those people out. There's no such thing as a climate crisis. If anything, we're better prepared for any environmental damage that could happen than ever before. I think that the data clearly shows that. There's no climate crisis. There might be climate change. No climate crisis. It's not a crisis. The only crisis is for these people. That's it. They're in a cult. They're in this mental crazy cult. Justin Trudeau. Wow. Speaking of weak men, weak little men, he's not actually that short. He's just weak. He's just a sad case. Okay, and with a disturbing rise in anti-transgender hate. Okay, so the anti-transgender hate. So they're people who are against transgender hate. They're anti. Okay. Wow. Trans women are women. We will always stand up to this hate whenever and wherever it occurs. Yeah, whatever. Trans women are not women. Trans women are trans women. That's a basic fact. There's biology and then there's derangement. And once again, mental health services, people. Mental health services. We need to increase this. We shouldn't be, catering to a person's delusions. We should be giving them the help they clearly need. That's all. Is that all right to say? I know we weren't allowed to say this before on Twitter or anything like that. So, James Sexton, these bulbs are weird looking. They sure are. Susan Lay. Rare moment of honesty from Labour's minister.
What do we want it now, Mr. Speaker? Up a placard. What do we want? What do we want? Higher power prices. What do we want it now, Mr. Speaker? Up a placard. What do we want? Higher power prices.
That's all we're going to get. Higher power prices, yeah. Higher power prices, Bone. That's all he's delivering. This guy, speaking of small minds unable to grasp complex topics, we got Chris Bowen here. He thinks renewables are going to be cheaper because he looks at one aspect of it. That's the only way he can survive through this. And, we're all going to pay 2024, 2025 is going to be a very dark time in Australian history. It's going to be very bad. And, oh my God, Anne Ali, look at, oh my God. Okay, this is a bad way to start the day. We need something funny, people. Could we please post some more funny things? I need something lighthearted. Anyways, let's continue. Jill back the swing voter. Yeah, once again, Jill is an encyclopedia of knowledge, especially when it comes to media and the ABC. She's got a great setup there. Sorry, my nose is running a little bit today. It's very annoying. I think I'm getting a cold. I spent a lot of time out walking yesterday in the forest in snow, and it was really cold, and my feet got soaked, and not a good day. It was beautiful in the snow though, but it's very cold, and I'm getting a bit of a cold, I think. Well, anyways, toughen up. Got to blame climate change for that one. Huge snowstorm in the first week of March. Jesus. Okay, the sky's going to fall in. Global warming experts get more chances than little chicken. Yeah, see, they're experts again. Now, if COVID proved anything for us, it's that the experts are full of shit. And so if you have COVID modeling, can you remember the COVID modeling? Do you remember Norman Swan saying, what was it, 300,000 Australians were going to die? So we have the COVID modeling, and I'm no expert on the input data for an epidemiological modeling. I don't know what their input data is, but I suspect like the variables are a lot less than trying to do a climate model. Like the climate, the globe as a whole, and trying to model that data. There are so many different variables. And if the experts can't get the modeling right on a cold going through or a flu going through the people, how are they modeling 100 years into the future? The word expert needs to just be, it's a red flag. As soon as you see expert, it's a red flag. Where anyone giving them any extra credence because they say expert, they're idiots. Basically, they're just lining up. They're lining up to be taken advantage of. As soon as you see the word expert, it's usually followed by someone pushing a cause or trying to get money. They're trying to get into your pocket. Anyways, let's keep going. Chinese travelers touching down in Australia from Saturday will no longer have to provide a negative COVID-19 test before entering the country. Why are they even doing that? I had to do this at the start of last year. February last year, I flew back to Australia, and we were supposed to have a negative test. When we got to Australia, they didn't even ask for it. We just got straight through. It was odd. Just end this shit. Why are they still doing it? These experts. As I said yesterday, we need to see all the expert data. We need to see the medical advice. We need to see the contracts. Everything involved in the COVID response. Get it on the table. Get it on the table. We need a royal commission into this. It can't happen again. This stuff has to end. Let's keep going on. I'm almost done. Oh, geez. It's a tough morning. Australian house prices have dropped 7.9% over the past 12 months to February. The largest annual decline on record. Okay, that's all right. They've got to come down, don't they? Really? Australia holds so much wealth in real estate values. It's a really remarkable situation what's going on there. But even if it drops 7.9%, this is like investing. If you're investing in a fund, if you're investing in the S&P 500 or something like that, and you're investing over the course of 20 years, you will get drops. You will get a drop in 1 year. You will get drops over time, but over the period of time, you're going to be at an advantage. Those drops are picking up. So a 7.9% drop, yeah, that's bad. It's bad for people who have a huge mortgage on that place and they want to try to sell it because, they have to get out of the place because their mortgage has doubled and Elware doesn't seem to care. But, but that's a normal function. That's normal. Your prices aren't going to go up forever. There will be fluctuations, but generally the trend over the long term will be positive. So hold, people. Just go get your third or fourth job. That's all. It's not much. Just go get your third or fourth job, and you know the standard of living crisis will just slowly disappear from sight because you'll be working too hard. Anyways, the Prime Minister Anthony Albanese and Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi have received a warm welcome from a packed Indian cricket crowd at Ahmedabad as the fourth test gets underway. Yep. I do think cricket itself, one of the most underrated things about cricket is its ability to bring people together, especially across different cultures, from the West Indies to Australia to New Zealand to South Africa to India. It brings people together. It's such a great sport for that. And I don't think there's too many sports that cross cultures that broadly and still maintain a decent image. And by that, I'd just say like soccer. Soccer's not a decent sport. To me, soccer's, yeah, it's a sad case. Soccer's like a surrender sport given to people who didn't want to think anymore. Anyways, Herald Sun, new research, more experts, here we go. New research has probed just how quickly the immune system jumped into gear to fight COVID in those who have been jabbed. No more vaccinations for me. I got one. I'll proudly tell you now. I'm not an expert. I had one vaccine. I got the Johnson & Johnson vaccine in 2021. I was sick as a dog. I actually put it on Twitter. Like I did a thread of my whole process. Me and my partner were both sick. We were knocked out for 3 days. That was terrible. And then after that point, we just said no more. We're not doing this anymore. We only did it because we wanted to travel, really. I know that sounds bad and, you know, blah, blah, blah. But I deliberately wanted the Johnson & Johnson because it was not mRNA vaccine. It was a vector vaccine. So we went with that one. We were sick. It hit like a brick. I felt awful. And, yeah. But went on holidays anyway. Went to Sardinia. Beautiful place. Anyways, let's continue. Patrick Lenton. So Charles Haig back in. See, we get James Morrow. Okay. 5 new subs. Good. Rotating attack subs through by 2027. Better. Yeah. I think this is good. This is a good deal. Getting the Virginia class, obviously a great boat. In the naval scene, we call these things boats. They're not. They're huge ships, actually, and they just sink with efficiency. That's all. They're big. Australia does not have the capability to build something that technical, but it's a step in the right direction. So we can take the 5, get 5 Virginia-class boats from the US, and then try to build out our own. I just don't think that's a... it's good that they're actually doing something. Let's just say that. At least we get the Virginia-class boats. That's good. It also offers a kick for our nuclear industry, so we can start training up our own specialists. And nuclear power, you know, that's our future. That's our future. Not solar, not fucking wind, none of that shit. How's Snowy Hydro going? You know, you want to do that all across the country? I don't think so, people. So we got to look at nuclear, and this is a good step. You know, this gives us some experience. It gives us some training, you know, in this area, and it's provides a great resource for our defense capabilities. It's a fantastic resource. You can get these boats, they don't need to be refueled for their entire life. They can stay at sea technically until the food runs out, and then they can just eat each other, you know. It's all fine. It's good to see them coming through. How are you, James? It's good to see you. I like James Morrow. Always funny guy. Aubrey Fish. I always see this dude come through. Good. More of this, please. Getting back to actually helpful treatment plans. Yeah, see, this is good. This is good. But this is in the US, obviously. This is somewhere in the US. House approves a ban on gender affirming care. Yeah. Gonna get these people mental health services. It's not, you don't just go, if someone's clearly distressed and they're in a bad state of mind, or they're in a confused state of mind, that doesn't mean the solution is mutilation or amputation. Like, we wouldn't do this with any other disease or any other mental condition, but for some reason they do it to these poor trans people. these gender confused people, we should say. Yeah, it's just a bit sad. Okay, Jill. What's Jill on about? Wow, Anderson Cooper and Little Rhino Adam just said... Adam Kinzinger, fucking, why does he always look like he's crying? Just said, oh, you could take footage of Vietnam and find people just standing around. What? Okay. Next is Little Man Bowen. Yeah, no. Lydia Thorpe found guilty by her own admission, said the Greens lawyer told her to say she's been in a brief relationship with the biker. Yeah, Lydia Thorpe, geez. I think she's going to blow up the Greens, hey. I think Lydia Thorpe's going to come out and go swinging at them, especially if they cut a deal. You know, if they cut a deal with Labor over their emissions plan, yeah, I think she's going to blow it up. Anyways. Matt Keane to me, no, once again, little men, they're not helpful. They're destroying things as they go. It's not good. Why is Matt Keane even in the party? Why is he in the Liberal Party? He's not a Liberal. These people need to be excised. We need to bring in the priests, do a whole exorcism. We got to get them out. We got to clean. We got to bleach everything. Get these moderates out. They don't belong there. I don't care if we lose seats in the eastern suburbs. I don't care if we lose Mossman. I don't care. The northern bit, that's not Australia. That's Karen Central. That's not Australia. That doesn't represent the best of Australia. That doesn't represent our future. That's like the retirees. That's the boomers. That's the Lisa Wilkinsons. We don't need these seats. Get rid of them. The sooner we can cut these freaks free, the better for the nation. Especially the Liberal Party. Anyways, Lyle Shelton, yeah, he cops a lot of flack, but he's just offering a standard opinion that would have been fairly commonplace in 10 years ago, 15 years ago. Don't forget, Julia Gillard didn't want gay marriage either. Up until recently, until it became trendy, politically expedient for her. Skybus in Melbourne just acknowledged that sovereignty has been ceded. Yeah, Jesus Christ, this is more of that weird Marxist thought coming into Australian politics. It's, it's just going through educational facilities, through academia. It's really, really toxic. It's a toxic idea. Next, Leo back. Australia will win. India versus Australia. That's cool. Okay. Yeah, I can't really watch the games here. It's a little bit difficult. I'm just a bit busy during the days, so once again I do these videos in the morning. Let's get through Dutton. Yeah, Dutton doesn't discriminate. He hates all poor people, black and white, especially refugees. He really fucking hates them. Really. This is like the most base level. It's like the most basic bitch opinions you could possibly get. Oh, they don't agree with me. He must hate. No, because I represent Group X, and he doesn't like me. He must hate Group X. That's frustratingly dumb. It's just dumb politics. Anyways, speaking of lefties, this one's actually followed by Ian, or Gordy. I call him Gordy. He's a great guy. He's a lefty, traditional Labor though. Traditional Labor. A lot of his opinions now would line up with what conservatives were pushing a couple years ago. It's his just traditional Labor, and I've got all the time for these people. Traditional Labor voters. I grew up around them. They're normal folks. I totally understand them, and I think like they push a good line, and but the modern Labor Party's just been taken over by single mums and grievance politics. It's just a different mix mash, a grab bag of every different grievance group you could possibly get, and the old school Labor union member, manufacturing worker, the hard blue collar jobs, they're just not represented anymore. They've been sidestepped, and that's sad. And Pauline's stepping into the breach. That's where she's getting a lot of her things from. Okay, Australia's set for 2 types of nuclear subs. Yeah, buy fucking as many as you can get. You know, really, Australia's got to step up to the mark. If Australia doesn't, we got to boost the Navy. Really, the Navy needs to be boosted. So, have to do everything we possibly can do for that. Extra funding. This is a great step. The nuclear subs, perfect, excellent, love it. But really, can we get some fleet air arm? Can we get fixed wing back to the fleet air arm? I mean, like a fixed wing aircraft in naval service. We can operate them. I'm pretty sure we could do a detachment. We could do a split force on the LHDs. I'm pretty sure we're capable of doing it. The Spanish have done it with the LHDs that they've got. By the LHDs, I mean I think it's the Canberra and the Adelaide. HMAS Canberra and HMAS Adelaide. They're both built in Spain off the Juan Carlos platform. Spain are using theirs. They're using fixed wing off that. It just offers a good capability. And a lot of the concerns about it come from people like Paul Keating. You know, these China apologists who go around saying, "Oh, China won't be happy if we do that." Fuck them. We're already doing nuclear subs. Let's get the fixed wing back in the fleet air arm. Not a hard request. Okay, Sophie 5. Hundreds of staff rallying at University of Sydney demanding sick pay for casuals. Okay, yeah. Why like left-wing workplaces always seem to be the worst to work at? You know, these people always have like these huge issues. They seem to hate themselves. They hate their jobs. They hate their workplace. Why is that? I don't get it. But no. Shut the university. Like, what? These universities are useless. They need to detach their humanities from the actual functional parts of the university. You know, the professions, accounting, law, medicine, any of the sciences, the business schools. Separate them. You have to remove the humanities from that because it's a waste. You know, those subjects are not helpful for people. It's just extracting, you know, wealth from vulnerable people and giving them a false sense of intellectual superiority. And it's just junk. It's just Marxist junk. It's not good. Not good for anyone, and especially not them. Putting them into debt. Imagine putting someone into that much HECS debt for a degree that's, I don't know, what was that lady studying before? Aboriginal economic policy or something like that. She had a PhD. She's probably got over 100 grand of HECS debt, and she lives in Alice Springs and says she can't. Yeah. Let's experts, people, the experts. Okay, it's your moral duty to stay. Glenn Greenwald. I like Glenn. He's a great American journalist. Obviously someone you'll never see on the ABC. Once again. It's your moral duty to stay home. Leaving home makes you a sociopath, willing to murder old people. Nothing, not this. Okay, that's all right. Let's continue on. Gemma Tognini. I like Gemma. I like all these fellows. So the Sussexes. Oh no, sorry, Gemma. I can't talk about those people. No more. Raymond McEwen, this is one of the very reasons not to vote for these fake independents. This thing, for example, is hysterical, emotional, unbalanced, and would be impossible to deal with in a sane, sensible, productive manner. She obviously has issues. Yeah,
I think that the two-party system is broken.
Let's see.
Let me finish this. Can I tell you something? Look, let me just finish this because I'm really mad about this because this is, I'm sorry, I get so mad about this.
Karen. It's the
One
politics
of the things
of
that we
Karen.
found, I think that the two-party system is broken. But let me finish this.
No one cares. Like, this is just this self-indulgent Karen political force it's gonna really destroy us. These women are just, oh my god. Lisa Miller's still doing the rounds. Yeah, not good. Don't pick on women's looks, or don't attack Lisa Miller over that. You know, there's plenty to attack the ABC on, but once again, that's coming from the left. You know, I've touched on that 3 times. James Lindsay, in honor of International Women's Day, Women's Plus Day, I want to talk about something important, including Matt Walsh. Many people really like Matt and his approach. I think mostly good things about it myself, but many intuit something is off and can't articulate it. It's this: woke is a woman. Okay. Gillian Hill, is there anyone, speaking of like small men, This is what I mean. Like, we create, I think this goes back to like the anti-bullying campaigns. We allowed these people to push through and get into our lives, and they're just weak men. They're really just weak men, these little weak Weasley men. And really, it's up to us to step up and just call them out for the little creeps that they are, like these creepy little men. They're just, it's gross. It's gross. Can we go back? I like Pocock for that. Yeah, you know, he might have CTE, but, you know, he's a man. It's not like this little Weasley shitbag here. Anyways, let's continue on. Jill back again. Charles Haig, I've seen him like 40 times, but he's on to Australia's best satirical account. Which is Greg Jericho. I swear this guy is, it's got to be satire. It's got to be satire at this point. Privatization of Sydney Water could see water bills soar. Yeah, it could be. Who did the modelling? I'll give you one guess. The statistical geniuses, the experts over at the Australia Institute. I bet you. Okay, let's have a look. Water bills would soar by, if private modelling shows. Oh, the modelling. It's always the modelling. Let's have a look. Who did the modelling? Research released by the Australia Institute Centre for Future Work and commissioned by the Australian Services Union. Yeah, no, come on. Why doesn't anyone in the media ever just ask where they're getting this information from? Like, the Australia Institute doesn't, they do research and then expect to be taken seriously, you know, and it's really dodgy statistical work. It's very similar to the, you know, they will push through with the pay gap and subsidies, which are actually the fuel tax rebates, and it's always dodgy. It's just always dodgy. What was the one last week? Oh no, it was 2 weeks ago. They said that inflation's caused by company profits, and I don't know how they got to that point. I don't know how you could draw that correlation. It doesn't make sense, but they just dress it up. It's just like a shit sandwich dressed up as like a gourmet roll, and no one actually looks into it, and they just bite straight through it, and they chew on it. They chew it up. You know, it's you people are weird. How much could you hate yourself to actually listen to the Australian Institute? They are a great laugh though, and it's fantastic seeing the funniest satirical account on all of Australian Twitter actually referencing the funniest NGO on all of Australian Twitter. Anyways, Mark Latham. We're getting down the end here, but here we go. So what's Mark Latham? Unbelievable. When asked about AEMO's forecast of blackouts in New South Wales, these teals said they know better from community opinion and that coal and gas need to end in our state, making blackouts inevitable. And these clowns say, follow the science. Yeah, it's fairly, you know, this is a thing Mark could do. I know Mark's probably never going to watch this, but this is something he could do, or One Nation themselves, is in New South Wales, in the New South Wales election, when you're at pre-poll booths or you're handing out how to vote cards, if you see someone take a how to vote card from a teal or support that, also go over, be polite, and give them a disconnection form. Give them a disconnection form from their energy provider. Ask them. There's only a few there. You could print them out, have them ready to go. Say, look, if climate change is as deadly serious as you say, here is the form. You can disconnect now. Solar panels are just down the road at that shop that you were promoting the other day. You know, the one that you want to give the grants to because they gave you the money. Well, you can go buy some solar panels from them. Get a battery pack from the other guys that want to give you money and you're going to sell their business. Go get, it's all available. No one's going to stop you. Here's the disconnection form. Fill it out. They'll come out. They'll turn it off. They'll take your meter away. Great. If it's deadly serious, but it's not. It's not. It's once. Yeah. Look at all these Karens. Jesus Christ. This is an epidemic, people. We got to get this epidemic of Karens under control. Otherwise, it's going to destroy us all. It's going to destroy us. I don't think they're going to have the success through the New South Wales election as they think they are. I think they took the wrong messages from last year's federal campaign. They're reading the room wrong. But yeah, anyways, I think I'm almost there. Speaking of weak men, here we go. David Shoebridge. The most powerful forces in the media, the weapons industry, and the political class are baying for war, and we should be alarmed. He's only talking about this in relation to China. He's not talking about this in relation to Ukraine. I'm roughly about, I'm currently living fairly close to the border. Oh, no, not the border with Ukraine, but I'm living fairly close to Ukraine. I'm more worried about that. Also, China. These are real issues. You know, there could be Chinese troops marching down Oxford Street, and people like David Shoebridge would be out there waving a flag, cheering them on, saying, "Oh, look how diverse they are." Don't take these people seriously when it comes to national defense. Be serious with China, because China is serious. You know, it's that simple. Don't listen to people like David. The Ukraine's also a war that's going on at the moment, and we're providing weapons, we're providing arms, we're providing coal to the Ukraine. David's very quiet on that one. Okay, we're coming into the last one. Is this... Yeah, that's true. Netball Australia. Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't give them money. Does anyone even watch netball besides like Michael Rowland on the ABC? I don't. Yeah, is it really a sport? It's like women's AFL. You can push it as much as you want. It's not interesting. I've tried to watch it. Same with women's soccer. Have you ever watched women's soccer? Sorry, soccer's boring as it is. But I can't get into it. I'm sorry. I don't know. It's just not interesting. There's no. I don't know. Sorry. And finally, I think we're better off leaving on this one. As a proud feminist, Sadiq Khan. Proud feminist. Okay, I believe that all women deserve to feel welcome.
Grassroots organisations, getting them to talk to us at City Hall about ways that we can make sure that women are at the forefront of the way in which we develop policy.
Interesting thing about the words, I like I don't like it, but I like to call it out, and I do recognise the communist or the Marxist terminology when I see it. You might not, but I do. So in this tweet, it's not the feminist aspect, and it's not the proud aspect. It's this little word, all. All. All means some. It's a simple thing for these people. For Sadiq Khan, all means some. So when they say all women, they mean all women in our group who are beneficial to our cause or to our narrative. It's not all women. No, that's ridiculous. Not J.K. Rowling. She doesn't deserve a platform. No. Some women, our pets, the women who are our pets, who push our cause and our narrative, that's who we mean. All of those women. It's actually just some, anyways, I might leave it there. I'm ranting. I'm going to go out for a run. I'm going to go for a jog. It's very cold outside, but, it's got to be done. Once again, guys, get out there, be healthy. You got to look after yourselves. Do some work. James always does it. I always try my best every day. You got to get out there. You got to do it for yourselves. And plus it's great for your brain. It's some good time to think. It's brilliant. So anyways, it's been fun. I'm going to leave it there. I hope to see you guys tomorrow. I'll try to do these all at the earlier time today, or in the future, so you can all, at least have a watch. Anyways, have a great one. Enjoy yourselves. Don't be bad to each other, and get out for a walk. Get some fresh air, and I'll talk to you all soon. Peace.